I want to give you a couple different ways to start your creative projects because I know we've all been in this situation where you open up your design tool, whether that be something super advanced or basic, doesn't really matter. If you start with that blank canvas, it just for some reason can be a bit paralyzing, even though you know exactly what you want to do. And so I want to give you 4 different ways to get started in the inspiration, the reference part of your design projects. Maybe you don't know where to look, maybe you do, maybe we're going to go over a little bit of familiar ground, but maybe I'll also give you some tips that you didn't think about and show you some easier ways to go ahead and get some designs on the board that you can then start playing around with. So let's go through these 4 together, and we're going to start with the first and most obvious one, and that is collecting your references. Now, I've got Pinterest pulled up here. We love Pinterest. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. There are, of course, other tools where you can go and get references from. I even see some Behance links here, some Creative Market links. These are all great places for you to go and get inspiration. What I am more concerned with in this stage of the project is the curation. So I've typed in here newspaper design layout. So I want to start creating some sort of newspaper graphic. I don't exactly know what it's going to be yet, but what I do know is that I need to collect some references for layout. Now I could just start a board. I could start a Pinterest board and I could just keep coming back to it. But I think what would be easier for me is just going ahead and placing this in my design tool of choice. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to directly take these references and just put them in Kittl so that I can start working on my project. So I like this one right here, and all I have to do is just right click, and what I'm going to do is copy the image right there. I'm not going to copy the link or anything. And then if I move over into Kittl here, I can just hit Command or Control V. Of course, I got my little message right here. It says don't be scared. And what I'm going to start doing is just throwing my references over here. So all I did was right click and copy on the image and then go over into Kittl and paste it that easily. And so I can have everything in one place. So let's find a couple more we like. You can see this one right here. Looks like it is indeed a template because it just says headline type and things like that. Let's see. I'm still looking for more vintagey newspaper style. I like this one a lot. Let's go ahead and copy image. Then of course I'm going to come over here, Command or Control V. I'm just going to find 1 or 2 more, and this already has allowed me to not be scared anymore, right? So I can go ahead and select this and just delete it because I already have stuff in my project, if that makes sense. Yes, I could collect these, put it in a board, things like that, but I think having it in the design tool like this is just an easier, not necessarily better, but it's just a more visual way to get started with things. All right, and so now I've got a couple of different references here. Let me grab one more. Let's go with, let's see. So I think one franchise that actually does this vintagey newspaper style is the Harry Potter franchise. And I think that they've just absolutely crushed that. I mean, look at this. I have actually one of these printed out really, really big as fabric upstairs. And these are just so nice. Just the way that the daily profit is there and just the way that all of the layout is here. And so I think I like this one. And this is the one I have hanging up. And I'm just going to go ahead and click copy image. Now, again, I'm not going to be like copying this one for one. I'm just putting in here the references that are inspiring me. And so automatically now I feel like I have more of a grasp on the project. For example, I can add text with T, and then I can immediately start looking for text that looks like this. For example, I know North Road is one of our big headline texts like this, and I could start typing out maybe similar terms to get something similar. And I already feel like I have more of a grasp, like I said, on what I'm doing versus starting with a blank canvas. So that's the number one way, is actually grabbing references from wherever, whether it's Google, Pinterest, Behance, whatever you want to use. You can actually just copy and paste them right into Kittl, and then you can start working on your projects that way. All right, so the second way that you can get started with your creative projects and not have to start with a blank canvas is to actually peruse our templates. And so in the editor here, I have this templates panel over on the left with a bunch of different kinds of tags that I can go through for different use cases and categories. For example, maybe I'm looking for social stuff, maybe I'm looking for marketing stuff, and whatever I'm looking for, I can actually go ahead and add these to my board. So for example, if I really like this, I can add it to my board. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is type up here in the search bar, I'm just going to see see if anything comes up for newspaper, and it looks like it does. And so while I've got some more vintagey inspired ones here, maybe I want to go ahead and grab some modern ones. And so I can click this and actually just add it to my board here. And if I want to put it over here, I can do so by just dragging it over here. And it is an editable template, by the way. So even if you wanted to go ahead and get started by like just typing in different things, so instead of the birthday post, maybe this is like the travel post or the travel journal, you can already kind of get an idea for what stuff might look like, even if you're not going to use this template. And so we could just keep doing the same thing. Let me go back here to the main search, show all. And then, yeah, let's see if we can find something else. Ooh, I see wanted here. So instead, and that's the same kind of style as this Harry Potter Undesirable #1. Maybe I want to type in wanted poster, and let's just see what comes up for that. Nice, there's one that I had made in a previous tutorial, which was a lot of fun. But we also have a couple of different ones. This one's pretty nice with the AI generated layout right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one. And as I do, let me just zoom out a little bit, and I'm gonna move this over here. And so as you can see now, I have editable things that I can, again, drag over and I can start playing with. I can actually start using these elements as opposed to not starting with anything, which is the big fear. Now again, I'm not in the stage of really wanting to finish my design or anything. I don't even exactly know the finished piece. I know I have the brief and the style being this kind of newspaper-esque thing. But other than that, all I'm really trying to do here is set myself up for success. I'm not trying to rush the process. I'm just trying to have everything in one place. All right, a third way you can get started with your projects and for finding references and or creating or generating references is with AI. And we actually have several models here in Kittl AI over here in this left panel. Our image generator, where if we open it up, over here in the advanced category, you have 3 different styles to choose from. You have DALL-E 3, Flux, and Ideogram, and if I hover over each of them, it actually shows you what it's good for. DALL-E 3 is a lot better for illustrations, elements, things like that you need to generate. Flux is a lot better for photography, more realistic or photorealistic or hyper-realistic type of stuff. And then Ideogram is great for graphic design. They champion themselves as an AI tool that will help you get very intense, well done, well thought out graphic design. And so I'm gonna keep it on that one, and all I'm gonna do is just give it a prompt for a newspaper layout. And I'm not really going to be super specific with it. I just want to, again, get references, get inspiration, try to find some layouts that might influence what I'm going to do. So we are going to give Ideogram a very basic prompt here. I'm going to do a vintage newspaper layout with a headline, blocks of paragraph text, and a few ads placed throughout. And let's see what it gives us. And we can of course test the different models back and forth. Just because one is better for graphic design than another, it doesn't mean that we can't use them. So let's go vintage newspaper layout. I'm gonna go ahead and generate this. I'm not even really looking for the spelling to be correct. I didn't give it any words to say, so I'm not exactly sure what it's going to populate with, but I'm just trying to get layout here. Okay, so I actually like this. Again, I didn't give it any specifics, but I do dig how it has interpreted where they're going to place different ads. And I didn't give it any information, but it does say the dawn of a new age. It is spelled correctly. Interesting that it has it in the middle as opposed to something up top. Let's test a different model. Let's go to DALL-E 3 instead of Flux or Ideogram. Let's just see what it gives us. Again, I'm not going to give it any kind of preset. I just want to see what it's going to spit out because I just want layout ideas. I don't need to get too frustrated or concerned with actually hands-on designing yet. I just want to curate an entire kind of mood board of what I'm going for. Okay, and I like this a lot. Like I said, I'm not trying to be rough back and forth trying to get it to spell something correctly. I didn't give it any text to spell correctly, but look at this. Already it's given me a pretty cool, albeit very overdone layout with a lot of different text. I don't think I would probably use it that way. Let's go ahead and test the third model. Let's go ahead and test Flux, and maybe it'll give us something more photorealistic, like an actual mock-up of a newspaper or something like that. Okay, and here is what Flux decided to give us, which I think is pretty cool. Again, we have a massive variety here just by using these three methods together. I could have used any one of them. I could have just used Pinterest or Behance. I could have just kept adding templates that are editable. I could have just started with Ideogram, Dolly, Flux in the AI and just started generating images that way. Or I can use the fourth method, which I'll show you in just a second. But I really like that already I just have a bunch of different ideas and I can start, deciding which ones I would want to get rid of. Maybe this one, not so much is specific, but these are kind of all in the same style. These two are in the same style. I do like that this headline is in the middle, this one's in the middle. So I have a lot of ideas already for this specific project. All right, let's talk about the fourth and last way that you can get your projects up and off the ground so you don't have to open up a project and have a blank screen or try to collect references from somewhere else. And that is gonna be with our design bundles. So here in Kittl, we have these beautifully, wonderfully curated design bundles, which I'll show you in just a second. And what these are a curated list, a curated board of different fonts, elements, layouts, colors, everything that you might need in one place so you don't have to search for it. You don't have to go digging. You don't have to go looking for different fonts that pair together. There are already font pairings in all of these. And I did kind of a deep dive on design bundles in one of our previous videos you can go check out. But I think that using this as a starting place is going to help you go ahead and get something on the board. And so already I can think of a few that I might use for my specific newspaper ad or my newspaper graphic. I see this one right here, which says vintage apparel design bundle. This one says vintage garage. This coffee shop or this outdoor one might be really nice. This vintage logo designs bundle might be good. We have so many different categories that I think would be cool. This apothecary one is really cool. And so let's go ahead and just open up this one. Now I could open this one, which is going to open up in another project. I'm going to come back to this project and I'll show you how to get there a different way. So if I just go up here and I just search design bundles, they are also going to come up right here in my left side. And if I grab the panel, the left panel, I can expand it out or I can make it smaller. I'm going to go ahead and expand it all the way out so that I can find the one that I was looking for. There is the vintage garage. Here's the floral one. I'm going to go ahead and click this, and this is going to add all of the boards right to this board. So I'm now going to have everything all in one place. So you can see right here, let me go ahead and click out of the design bundles element. And so here you can see I have this massive project with tons of inspiration. And so it is an apothecary label bundle. So these are labels that I might put on like a candle or a can or a tin or some kind of potion or drink that I'm making. And so this is specific to that, but I already get the same vibe as this graphic right here with a bunch of different, right here, soap brands or different kind of things. And I think I could pick and choose some of these, as well as look at all of these amazing fonts. All the curation is here for me. I could use several of these immediately for my headline. I could use these for little headers for fun sections of my newspaper. I could use these little badges here. Oh, the ornamentations maybe I could put under or on the left and right of my headline. It's already got all the shapes for me. Illustrations I might want to put on there. It even has textures I could use, backgrounds, colors. I mean, this is such a great way to get started with your project. And already, just looking at this view, I have several things just from using all four methods combined, which would probably be my suggestion to you, is use all of these methods at the beginning of your projects. And then you can get in here, you can come over here, you can start playing with our different fonts, or you can just come right in here, find the ones that you want. For example, you can find exactly the fonts that you want, or just click and drag the ones that you want from any of these, because you're going to be able to use all of these assets when you click on any of the design bundles. And so those are your four options. The first one being collecting your references and pasting them right into Kittl. You don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to download them. You don't have to export them. You don't have to import them. You can just copy and paste them right into Kittl. The second one is by going through our templates. We have a massive library. I couldn't even tell you how many, I don't know, 100,000 plus probably templates. I couldn't tell you, I have no idea. The third method is by just using AI. I wouldn't be scared of it. I would just ask it to give you different layouts. I wouldn't even be specific. I would give it the style and the layout, and all you're trying to do is just get inspiration, just trying to get references. And then the fourth one is to peruse our long catalog of our design bundles, which we're constantly adding every single day. And before you know it, I think you're gonna have a really, really great starting place for your projects. You're gonna be able to develop something a lot faster. And I'm sure that's something that, like me, a lot of you struggle with, is the blank canvas syndrome, the hurdle, the blocker of not knowing what to do, trying to figure out how to find references, trying to figure out how to find elements, fonts. Well, let's help you take care of all of that by putting it here in one nice central place that you can start from. So let me know what you think of these 4 methods. Let me know if you have one that you prefer over the other. And by the way, if you haven't heard of Kittl, please give it a try. You can sign up using the link down in the description. You can do everything that I just showed you right here. We do have a free plan. We have 2 paid plans as well. You're gonna have some limitation on the free plan, but you can do everything in terms of playing around, sourcing, referencing. You can do all of that if you want with the free plan, no problem at all. So please give that a try. And if you feel like it's right for you, I also have a discount code down there for you. If you want to come back, grab that, of course, get some money off your first plan subscription. And again, let me know what you think of these different options for getting started. And if you have other tips and tricks and things like that, please share those in the comments as well, because it'll help me among many other creatives that come and look at it. So if you have those methods for getting started and for not being blocked or not getting locked to the blank canvas, please share those down below. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the Kittl channel so you don't miss anything else. And don't forget to like this video because that helps us out a ton as well. Don't forget to check out the description as well. Everything from live event trainings, references, Discord, everything that you need is down in the description, so don't forget to check that out. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.